What is going on, guys? GregglesTV. I had the opportunity to try out the new Galaxy Note 8 that's not released just yet, but it will be on September 15th. I headed over to Best Buy to try it out. Best Buy has it on display so that you can do some hands-on time with the phone, and I did just that. It wasn't the most optimal setup. It was basically in the middle of the store. Sales agents a few times came over to me, can I help you out? Blah, blah, blah. I was just like, kind of get away from me. I just want to try it out. So I ended up trying out a little bit, and here's my initial impressions about it. First would be the software. The software right off the bat is very, very similar, almost identical to any other Samsung Galaxy phone that you've tried in the past. We're getting to the point now with Samsung phones that they're almost the same year in and year out. The software is pretty much the same as what you had the last year or within the last 6 months, which is to be expected. I mean, they can't have different software and different everything for the phone, so that's kind of normal, but at the same time it's kind of losing that excitement, whereas when you'd get a new phone from them, you'd have kind of like completely updated software, completely new features that you didn't have on the last one. We're kind of getting out of that realm of possibility for Samsung to be able to even do that anymore. Any phone manufacturer, for that matter, is unable to do such a thing. So when you go through the software, it's going to feel very similar, especially if you've played with the Galaxy S7 or S8 recently. It's going to feel almost identical. Next up, let's talk about the cameras. First off, shooting video and photos is very quick. There's really no lag in between taking photos and saving the photo or saving the video. You can kind of jump in and jump out of that stuff real quick. The quality of the photos and videos, it looks good just looking at it on the screen. I didn't have the opportunity to send those files to myself to get a better look at it, but it definitely looks really good on the screen. And speaking of the screen is beautiful. The screen is very bright. The screen is very big. It's very long. It's definitely a two-handed phone. I think, unfortunately, some people might want that Galaxy S8, the smaller version, over the Note 8, especially if they kind of don't have big hands and they don't want to have to reach so far up to the top of the screen to be able to reach their notifications or their quick toggles or anything like that. The performance of the phone was very, very good, which is to be expected. It barely had any apps on there. It really only had the Samsung and Google apps and a few games on there. It was in the at&t booth, which is funny, but it didn't have any of the at&t apps on there. So to me, it was probably the unlocked version or something close to what their unlocked version will be. And it overall just had really, really good performance, very fast. But the big question is going to be over time, after a month or 2 months of use, and you have all your apps set up on there and you have everything going, is it going to start to slow down? I mean, it does have 6 gigabytes of RAM versus 4 gigabytes on the Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, but it's definitely, I'm very, very curious to see if that phone's going to slow down at all to the point where you do see some noticeable lag. One area I did notice, and I don't know if I actually caught it on film, but I did notice that the animations at times did have a slight slowdown to them when you'd scroll through some of the screens, like you're scrolling. It didn't seem as smooth as my HTC U11, but it was barely noticeable, but I did notice it a little bit. So overall, if you're coming from a Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, just playing with this phone initially, I don't know if I would give you the okay to go to that Galaxy Note 8. Unless you're having some big performance issues and you think you need that extra 2 gigabytes of RAM, I think that's really going to be what changes it for you, then definitely yes. Or if you're coming from a Galaxy Note 5, or you're coming from an older Galaxy phone, then yes, get this phone. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Or if you just love Samsung devices overall, I think you're going to enjoy it. So overall, it's not a huge change from the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. It does have the S Pen. The S Pen wasn't in the device on the unit I was using, so I didn't have the ability to try that out, but it definitely looks like a really nice phone overall. And if you want to pick it up, obviously do it, but if you're questionable about it, I would definitely wait out for the LG V30 and the Pixel XL2. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road. Peace!